Hi, this is Alex from devstories.eu. Azure Pipelines, Episode 5 of 10. Hard coding environment names directly into your YAML files is technical debt waiting to explode during your next infrastructure migration. When those names change, you do not want to hunt through dozens of repositories to update them. State management using variables and variable groups solves this by centralizing your configuration. The pipeline already knows a lot about its execution context out of the box. Azure provides predefined system variables to give your pipeline environmental awareness without any manual setup. For example, if you need to know which branch triggered the run, you use build.sourceBranch. If you need the unique ID of the current run, you use build.buildID. These are automatically populated and ready to read. When you need custom configuration, you define inline variables. You place these directly inside your YAML file under the variables block. This is perfect for values specific to a single pipeline, like a build configuration flag or a local file path. It keeps the logic self-contained. However, inline variables fail when you scale. Take a scenario where you have 3 separate microservice pipelines. They all need to know the name of the target deployment environment and a set of shared API endpoint URLs. If you define these inline, you are repeating yourself across 3 repositories. If an endpoint changes, you have 3 pull requests to make. The solution is a library variable group. This is a centralized key value store kept inside the Azure DevOps library. You create the group once in the user interface, populate it with your environment names and API endpoints, and then reference that group by name in the variables block of all 3 microservice pipelines. When migration day comes, you update the variable group in the DevOps portal, and every pipeline instantly uses the new values on their next run. You enforce the don't repeat yourself principle, keeping your shared configuration in exactly one place. Here is the key insight. How you call a variable changes when Azure evaluates it. There are 2 primary syntaxes, and mixing them up will break your pipeline. The first is macro syntax, written as a $ followed by parentheses enclosing the variable name. Macro syntax is evaluated at runtime. Azure replaces the variable right before the specific task that uses it executes. The second is template expression syntax, written as a $ followed by double curly braces containing the word variables dot and your variable name. Template expressions are evaluated at compilation time, before the pipeline even starts running. If you are trying to use a variable to decide whether a stage should run at all or to define a loop over a list of jobs, you must use template expression syntax. The pipeline needs that value up front to build the execution graph. If a value is generated dynamically during the pipeline run by a script, you must use macro syntax because the value simply does not exist at compilation time. Master the difference between compilation time template expressions and runtime macros, and you will eliminate the most frustrating variable parsing errors in your pipeline development. That is your lot for this one. Catch you next time.